Hey guys, Chris Dunn here, aka the Boogie Man. It's race recap time. We went to London, Kentucky. Now, when I tell you guys that this was probably one of the most eventful weekends I have ever had in a racing weekend, I promise you, this is just the craziest ass story you've ever heard. It's a long story. We're going to try to hit the high spots and not bore you to death, but you know, it's an awesome story. Number one, we end up at London, Kentucky. I have family at London, Kentucky. One of the nicest drag strips I've ever seen. Think it's built on top of an old coal mine. It was really, really cool. Super nice track, awesome facility. People were great. Kentuckians are kind of like South Carolinians, you know, except for they got one leg shorter than the other where they're walking around hillsides all the time. Anyway, so we show up Friday afternoon to London, Kentucky. We're going to make some test runs. We really hadn't had time to test since the last race because, you know, number one, we're trying to make a living and racing is not a priority to us. It's like secondary or maybe probably like third. And I wish it was priority, but there's just not enough money or time to do this. We get up there, we go make the first pass, the car's sick. It don't make sense to me. It's running like a 592. It's way off the pace. I'm just like, what in the world's going on? And it didn't quite sound right to me either. We come back, we make a clutch adjustment, kind of trying to see what's going on. We go make another pass. We're 592 again, like a bracket car. I don't understand it. Come back again, and I told Jim, I said, man, I think either the coil's breaking down, the plugs look awful. So we basically changed the coil, put new plugs in, and we wanted to try a new set of slicks that we've got. They're a different wall compound, and we just wanted to do a test hit on them, and that was a disaster. Just because we didn't have time to set the air pressures like maybe we set them where we run them on this tire and that tire, and it just got into a little bit of a mess. But that's no problem. That's for testing. Long story short, we come back again. Now the dark's on us. It's probably 9:30 at night. We're going to make another test hit. We're going to go back to our old tires. The car's still running like a turd now. I mean, seriously. It's running 592 like a bracket car. It's the damnedest thing I ever seen. Come back, put the old tires back on, go up there to make a pass. Staging lanes are going to shut down in 15 minutes. Go to crank the car up, go to pull into the water box, and I hear the screechingest, craziest sound I've ever heard, and I shut it off. I have learned over the years, if you hear a sound that you are not used to in your race car, cut the damn thing off. Okay? Cut it off. If you hear a noise out of the ordinary, cut the damn thing off. Don't cut it back on until you have properly looked over everything, because I've learned the hard way. So we shut the car off. Stacy Welch, super nice guy. That's Kobe Welch's dad. Kobe drives the little Ranchero Moonbeams. He's a great kid. He's a badass little driver. It's a purple little Ranchero, and it's just awesome. His dad tows us back to our pit. Then Tim Hall walks over, his family, and we're just assessing the situation, and we crank it up, and we cut it right back off. Well, we did that knowing that it wasn't internal. Me and Tim both said, this is external, not internal. So we had no problem doing that, and come to find out, I always push in the clutch when I crank the car. So Tim said, don't do it this time. So we didn't. It was the throwout bearing. Long story short, throwout bearing, it done went bad. They do that in these things, especially when you're turning 7,000, 8,000 RPM against them when you leave. They don't like it. Here we are, London, Kentucky, throwout bearing's bad. Car's still sick now. Let's remember something. The car's still sick. It's still a turd. We don't know what's going on with the car. What are we going to do now? So basically, we're in London, Kentucky. We knew we could get a throwout bearing the next day, which would be Saturday. There'll be part stores open. That's not a problem, but we needed to get everything out and get the number off of it and whatnot. Here to the rescue again, Rick Varner. Rick Varner's got this badass stacker trailer. It's got the lift in it. Man, you want to talk about the setup. I go over to Rick. Hey, Rick, can we use a lift? He said, well, you can. 15 people pushed the Boogie Man over there through the pits, through other people's pits. It was funny. We get it over there, get it up in the trailer, get it up, and man, this looked like a NASCAR pit crew on crack rock. I mean, I'm telling you right now, that transmission was out on the ground and the throwout bearing was out in less than 5 minutes. I kid you not. Here's another beautiful thing about racers, and this is the thing about them. Dean Jonas, I got to give him a shout out. He's got this badass 66 Chevy 2. It's either a 66 or a 67. You know, they kind of both look the same, but it's a work of art car. It's orange with a silver metal flake top. It's just badass. Has a brand new throwout bearing in his trailer, in the box. He goes and gets it. We knock it off, put the new throwout bearing on, put it all back together. And I'm kidding y'all not, if it took more than 16 or 17 minutes, I'll kiss your ass. That car was took apart, fixed, put back together, and rolling out of Rick Varner's trailer. I have to thank everybody involved. Rick Varner, Tyler York, the Hall family, Tim, his brother, his dad. I mean, Kobe got up in the car, the Welch family. You just name it. There's so many people that jumped in there to make this happen. I just want to say thank you to every one of you. You know what I mean? Because the Boogeyman team is not no one person. It's me and Jim and Matt and Wayne Celeste. And when we get to the track, we got people that's part of the team that we don't see till race time. Our backup girl, Kaylee, you know, her boyfriend, Adam Lohorn, which is like the man. Throwout bearings fixed, cars in the trailer for the night. My Uncle Wayne, we go home with him. There you go. So Saturday morning, sun breaks over the hills of Kentucky. We're back at the track. Carburetor Bob comes over. We do a jet change. Still the car's sick. So I go to pull the valve covers, check valves. And what do I find? Number 8 had a broke intake rocker. Rocker's broke in 2 pieces. The night before, literally every pass I was making, it was doing it on 7 cylinders. Which is just crazy to me. So it was doing it on 7 cylinders. I'll have to say I'm happy that the car run a 592 on 7 cylinders. This goes into another guy that helps us, that is always just saves my butt every time. And that's the reason Matt was talking about Carburetor Bob a while ago, and that's the reason I wanted to bring in Carburetor Bob. Bob Zabo, not only is he like where I go do my dynos, my engines, and he does all my carburetor work, he's also, him and his wife are friends of mine, have become friends of mine over the last few years. I can't explain how much I have to thank him all the time. When we found the broke rocker, we went around trying to see what we could do of scavenging rockers. Granted, we have kind of not really, I wouldn't say a bastard head, but it's kind of it's an all-pro head. There's not a lot of them. In fact, we have the only pair in the SEG, so our rocker dimensions are a little different. So we finally go, Quayne Stott, we got to thank him. He had a bunch of assorted rockers. We found a rocker, an old Jessel, 1.6, which ours are 1.8s, and basically we just stick it on there. And it ain't even fitting the best in the world. It's actually over the valve some, but hey, it's going to work. You know what I mean? It goes on the shaft. So we got it on there, and Bob spent about an hour and 15 minutes filing the head to make the push rod clear because the ratio was different. Long story short, Bob gets the car back together right on that end, and we got to thank Bob. Bob's just the man. I don't even know how I can thank Bob half the time for stuff he helps us do. Crank the car up, car's running now. Of course, it sounds better. Wasn't the coil or ignition, it was a broke rock arm. Go out, first qualifying pass. Qualify number 3 with a 64. I said, well, you went from a 92 to a 64, definitely, it liked that horsepower back in that hole. Now, granted, right now, the rocker's not right, so it's still down some horsepower. It still ain't getting all it's got. Q1, we go to that. Q2, we go to a different lane. We lose about, a good tenth and almost tenth and a half. The lane the car didn't like that lane. It really just didn't like it. Didn't like the first part of the track. We ended up qualifying when it was all said and done, I think about 6th, which is okay because all that 6 people were really close to each other. Number 1 qualifier was kind of ways away a little bit, but he slowed up as the day went on. So long story short, this is where the weekend gets even more interesting. And of course you're going, how in the world could this weekend get any more interesting? Trust me, when I'm through with this story, You're going to see how bad this damn weekend got. First round. I get the guys, Sean somebody, please don't forgive me. There's so many new people at SCG that I've not got everybody's names right, but he's got a beautiful 66. It's a lightish blue color. It was a beautiful color. Anyway, that's what he's got. Beautiful Chevy too, badass. Well, we go out, lights come down, we take off. I go to second, I miss second, and I don't even think it's the transmission. I think it's me at this time. I think my timing's just got off. I missed second gear. He jumps out in front of me. And in that split second, you're like, well, you just give up first round. I don't know when the last time I've lost first round. It pissed me off so bad in the car that I jerked that son of a bitch into second and just stomped the shit out of it and laid it back into the throttle and didn't give a shit. I'm just telling y'all the truth. Excuse my language, mama, but that's what happened. It was jerk that son of a bitch and stomp that damn gas pedal. Guys, I'm telling you, when I tell you, and all the rounds of racing that I've done, this was the best round of racing to this date for me in this car ever. He pulled so far ahead of me, I run him back down and beat him by 0.026 seconds on a hole shot. I had treated him just that much that he run a 622 to my 624. And you would not have believed we won first round by that. And I'm going crazy in the car. I'm just at this point, like I'm screaming, hollering, raising hell, and cheering in the car. So, long story short, now we're going into round two. Round two, we've got Leslie Horn, the chick magnet. Badass 55 Chevrolet. Leslie's the man. The car is just, it's just badass. It'll fly. Actually, we treat him. We treat him real good. We actually out 60-footed him. And then here we go again. I missed second gear again. And he just pulled off. And that just messed the whole run up. And we're out. And that's okay. We don't mind losing to Leslie. I don't mind losing to a lot of people. That's where we at. Our weekend's done, right? Well, we stay around, hang around, help Tim haul out. He had a rear end chunk he broke his rear end chunk, had to put one in. And, we had some good friends go on and have a good day. Now we're going to fast forward to, it is time to go home. Well, we decide we're going to drive back home from London, Kentucky. It's only 5 hours. Me and Jim want to do stuff on our Sunday, so we're going to drive back through the night. We head off. We get down from London to Knoxville. From Knoxville, we start into North Carolina and what we call, if you're from the South, the Gorge, which is starts this curvy path from, say, Knoxville to Asheville, North Carolina. So we start right into this. We're I'll tell you what, we're at 2.5 miles when the truck breaks. Idler pulley comes apart and throws the belt off of it. We've lost power steerings. We've lost brake. We've lost cooling. We've lost everything, alternator and all. So we get it over on the side of the road. And when I'm telling y'all, as scared as I ever been, there was just enough whip for the trailer and truck against a concrete barrier. And them 18-wheelers was coming by and rocking us. And we figured out what the problem was. So we didn't know what to do. Long story short, I told Jim, I said, we can't stay here, dude. I didn't know why I could have even thought about falling asleep because we was kind of in a blind curve on top of this. So we literally took the belt and cut it off the truck. We wrapped it around the water pump and the harmonic balancer, and thank you, Gorilla Tape. We literally Gorilla taped the belt together, and we'd crank the truck up and let it idle and cool the engine down. And we would leapfrog it another mile or so and let it cool the engine down. Then we'd leapfrog it another mile or so and cool the engine down. Because I'd looked on my phone and we was about 2.5 miles from the tunnel, and the tunnel had a road actually went around it, but it was a place we could pull off and be safe. So we got there about 2:30 in the morning. We broke down at about 1 o'clock in the morning. So we're thinking, okay, we can't do anything to 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning. No parts stores. Number one, we're in we're in bum, what. They ain't nothing around here but a creek. No, you can hear the river beside you and pine trees and bears taking dumps in the woods. That is all we have out there, okay? We try to sleep, and this is where I just get so mad I can't stand it, all right? We're trying to sleep beside the tunnel. All you assholes that beep your horn as you go through a tunnel, you can kiss my ass. Do you understand me? Because I didn't know how many dumbasses do that. I don't do it. I ain't nothing if you do it, but when you're trying to sleep and you just about get asleep, here comes some son of a gun going through the tunnel going beep, 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 and just laying on the horn. I don't understand the fascination about it at 2:30 in the morning. Get up 5:30 in the morning. There's another exit up about 2.5 miles. We get there. Here we go. Now, here we go where the racers save our butt again. We find the part in Knoxville at about 8:30 in the morning. Who do I call? Trusty old carburetor Bob. Where you at, carburetor Bob? We're about 20 miles above Knoxville heading home. Lifesaver. I'm going to send you this address. Send him the address. He was 10 miles away from the O'Reilly's Parts Warehouse in Knoxville, Tennessee, which has a store. He picked up the part. Hour later, he shows up with him, Wayne Swafford, Brian Harris, and Brian's wife, Robin. Super nice people. We got the car to get truck together in 10 minutes, and away home we go. That was our race recap for this weekend. I don't know if we're just not holding our mouth right, or we ain't living right, or we ain't doing something right, but this is 2 trips out that we've had problems. So hopefully the next trip, which is Farmington, North Carolina, Farmington Dragway, which is in Mocksville, North Carolina, hopefully we can get up there without a major problem. Because if I have one more, I'm going to say that thing's in threes and we done for racing, that somebody don't want us to be racing. So hope you enjoyed the story. Wish it was a little bit more colorful, maybe. Anyway, I want to thank everybody that helped me. If I missed your name, I'm sorry. I appreciate everybody this past weekend, from, the Varner family, the Hall family, the Welch family, and everybody else, Dean Jonas. I mean, everybody, Carburetor Bob, Leslie Horn, Londa's Tools, Wayne Swafford for driving the truck that had Carburetor Bob in it with her part. You guys rock. Love you guys. Chris Dunn, a.k.a. the Boogie Man. Ooh, that felt good right there.
You farted?
No. You did something, man. Just say when.
When?
All right. I don't know why they making.
I can tell you what that looked like.
Well, what I'm saying, I don't know why they're making clips so tight. I mean, we're not going to jump out of a damn airplane with the mic on. I mean, you know what I mean? I'm not going to. You can jump out of it.
Helicopters here, Chris.
Oh, they bought a new helicopter. They go and pick it up. They bought all 44. So, and I'm sure somebody's going to complain about, you can't talk shit about Kentucky people, or some of my critics. So, if y'all can't take a joke, really kiss my ass.
Can't say that on YouTube, Chris.
Well, you can blank it out. So, can I say crack rock like that?
You can say crack rock.
Okay, nice checking. All right, like on crack rock. Get away, little fly. It's hot in here, guys. The doors is open, so we got little gnats just bugging the shit out of me. So,